Happy holidays from the GTP. My name is Scott and my goal is to help you find great experiences for yourself and your family. And the experience we're going to go through today is 70 volume haul through the month of November. As I was looking through volumes, like, oh, I really don't have a whole lot, but I was like, oh, 70 is actually quite a bit. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and check out first ongoing or existing volumes from Viz Media. And I'm so excited to show you this first series. It might actually be the best series in this haul collection. It's in a lot of people's top 5 best manga of all the time. You might know what I'm thinking about. It's a sports series, and a lot of people who don't even care about sports love this series. So I knew it was one I had to check out for myself. I ordered this entire series over a year ago, and I was just pleasantly surprised when I saw it's finally being reprinted, and that is Slam Dunk. Now, I already owned about, I don't know, half of the volumes of 31 total, and there's a few that means I didn't have, so these volumes I got in, and I do see more volumes are being released. I would not be surprised if I don't have this entire series by January this year. If you're even on the fence a little bit, just even a teeny bit about should I get Slam Dunk, the answer is yes. Do not wait. This series will sell out, and it could be another year or two for it to be reprinted. I've already noticed a few volumes that you just saw that are reprinted have sold out right away. So if you can find these volumes now, buy this series even if you're on the fence. Worst case, if it's not for you, I guarantee you'll be able to sell this series for what you paid for it. Check it out. Do not wait. Highly recommend Slam Dunk. Next up from Viz, I got one volume of Blue Exorcist. Now this is a series I also kind of like Slam Dunk. I purchased over a year ago, and I had some of the beginning volumes, and then I had the last volumes. I was missing a large chunk in the middle, and I was actually really excited to see that this series is being reprinted right now, and it looks like the rest of Blue Exorcist will be reprinted by February this year. So if it's a series you've been wanting to check out for a while and you haven't been unsure, it's a great time to pick up the series as the volumes are now more easily and readily available. Next up, I got another series that's being reprinted right now. It's like Viz Media, every couple of months they just reprint a bunch of series at once, but that is Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 3. Ordered the entire series over a year ago. Do not own any of the volumes except for Volume 1 that was recently reprinted. For some reason, the second one wasn't number 2, but number 3. I believe this whole series will also be available by February. Now, I do see this series similar to Slam Dunk being sold out right away. So if it's another series you've been interested in, I would go ahead and get your pre-order in now. Go ahead and back order the series. Highly recommend going and doing that on Takara. Takara would be a great way to back order that series, and as it comes in, you'll be guaranteed to get the volumes as they come out. And my guess, again, probably January, February, March at the latest. I can definitely see the whole series back and ready available. And it's from the same author as Hunter x Hunter. So if you like Hunter x Hunter, I highly recommend checking out this old school series, Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched the anime when I was a lot younger, fell in love with the series. It's just so phenomenal, has a lot of good nostalgia vibes. So as you're waiting for the manga, if you have not ever checked it out, do yourself a favor and check out Yu Yu Hakusho. Next up, I got volume 24 of World Trigger. What's that, you say? Have I started World Trigger? No, I have not, because I have been waiting almost 2 years for the series to be reprinted. I was able to order the entire series except I am missing volumes 1, 2, and 5, and because of that, I haven't been able to start this series yet. So even though new volumes are coming out, until Viz can reprint those older volumes, I have not been able to start the series. I did see that volume 1's coming back in stock, so I'm crossing my fingers that volumes 2 and volume 5 will be reprinted again. If you're wondering a little bit about World Trigger, they say this probably has one of the best battle arcs in a manga. And when I was looking at the top 100 most popular series in Japan, World Trigger at one point was in the top 20. So for a series that hasn't had as much leeway over here, I heard the anime wasn't that good, so I another reason to check out the manga. But if you're looking at what are the most popular series that mean a lot to people in Japan, this is one of those series that I'm hoping is a hidden gem once I'm able to read it. Next up I got is Beyond the Promised Neverland. Now this is a series of short stories and a prologue having to do with the Neverland Promise. A series, first season of the anime, phenomenal, highly recommend checking out. Afterwards, do not watch the second season, but go ahead and pick up the manga. It's just a very, very interesting premise. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but within the first 5 volumes, I believed you'd be hooked and you'd want to continue the journey. It's only 19 volumes total, but if anything, at least check out the anime. The beginning of the anime, first season, phenomenal, edge of my seat. Watch the whole thing within a day or two. So check it out. The Promised Neverland. Next up from Viz, I picked up 2 more volumes of Haiku, the beloved volleyball manga that's on the top 10 of all time. This is probably the number 2 best sports manga ever. Slam Dunk would be number 1. Now this series has 46 volumes and I almost have all the volumes collected as I ordered the whole series on Takara Cafe a few months ago and they're slowly trickling in. So hopefully soon I'll have the whole series. I think there's only like 3 volumes right now that haven't been reprinted yet, so once that happens, my goal is next year this will be one of the main series I can go ahead and read and give you my thoughts. Next up, I got a beloved shoujo series, and that is Banana Fish. I got volume 13. Now I'm just waiting for volume 14 and I'll have the entire series. I back ordered this entire series almost 2 years ago on Right Stuff Anime and it's almost fully reprinted. I'm so excited to check out this shoujo series. If you're more of a shonen series person and you're trying to, dip your feet a little bit, I hear that Banana Fish is a great start to get your feet wet in a series that just many people are beloved in the shoujo community. So if you're looking to make that jump, highly recommend checking out Banana Fish. Next up, we got Mashle Volume 9. This is Harry Potter meets One Man Punch. Don't know more needs to be said. If you're looking for some action, some comedy, this is a hilarious series that many people have fallen in love with that's come out this past year. Next up, I got Zom 100 Volume 8. This is by the same author of the beloved series Alice in Borderland that is actually being brought to English in the US now. The first 3 volumes are available. They're 2-in-1, but this is his series he made afterwards. This is very humorous about a guy just now living in the zombie apocalypse, knocking out his bucket list. So if you're looking for something that just has a little more lighthearted and humor, this is a series you'll want to check out. Next up, I got the next volume of Asadora Volume 6. This is Nakura Osara's latest story that he is writing right now. If you don't know his works, I'm going to name a couple. I'm sure they've come to your mind before. If you've seen my top 10 video of all time, 2 of those titles are in here, and that's called Pluto and then 20th Century Boys. He also wrote Monster. This guy just is a phenomenal storyteller, twists and turns, great dialogue. So this is a series. I had a 5-volume rule. I haven't started the series. I know you're not shocked, as I am not shocked either, but this is volume 6. I definitely need to start going into this series as I just have loved his previous works. And Viz, if for some slight chance you're watching, please, without hesitation, who cares what these other corporations think? Bring Billy Bat. Bring it over to English. It is a series that we have been dying to see. I would love to be able to read for myself. Please bring it over, even if it's digitally. That's better than nothing. Bring Billy Bat over in English. Next up is Beastars Volume 21. Now there's 22 volumes total in this series. The last volume's coming out this January. Have I read the series yet? Of course I haven't. Am I going to be reading the series? Why, absolutely. As soon as I get that 22nd volume, this is a series I want to binge through and read right away. I've heard nothing but good things about this. Think of kind of like more of an adult version of Zootopia instead of the Disney version. This is the Viz version. So I'm excited to check out just the ideas with the animals living amongst each other, and yeah, kind of like a Zootopia for adults. Next up, I got the remaining volumes I needed for a series that is no longer on hiatus. It's a Mercenaries action pack, and that is Black Lagoon. Now this series recently has been reprinted, so it should be fairly easy to get. Oh, I just noticed this is a very thick volume. As you know, we do like thick volumes here. Baby Got Book, yes they do. This one, not so thick, but that's okay, because this one's making up the difference right there for their friend. So highly recommend if you're looking for more of a mercenary, action-packed tale. And a lot of people I know were on the fence of the series just because it was on hiatus for such a long time. But because the author has picked it back up, a new volume recently was brought to the States. Check out the series if you're looking for something a little more gritty, a little more action-packed. And the last that are ongoing or new to me from Viz Media is JoJo Bizarre Adventures, The Golden Wind, Volume 6. Now I believe there's 9 volumes total for The Golden Wind. I've read the whole first series, part 1 and part 2, JoJo's Adventures. Highly loved it. It was phenomenal. I'm so excited because Golden Wind means soon Stone Ocean, and after Stone Ocean means Steel Ball Run, which probably be 2 years later, but I know it's usually the number 2 or number 1 of people's favorite series of all time. I'm so happy to know that we're slowly getting this series into English. And surprisingly, if you checked out my top 10 manga with the most volumes, JoJo Bizarre Adventures is in that top 10 in the running. I believe number 8 or 9 of the most volumes total that are available in Japan. So I'm very grateful that Viz Media decided to take a chance. They're bringing over these wonderful hardcover editions of the series out to us. Highly recommend checking out if you haven't already, JoJo Bizarre Adventure. Next, let's go ahead and check out ongoing or existing series from KODANSHA, and the first I got was Eden Zero Volume 19. Now this series is from the same designer, author of Rave Master, as well as probably more popular is Fairy Tail. This one had a kind of a sci-fi feel, so that's why I chose this one instead of dipping my toes into Fairy Tail or dipping my toes in Rave Master, which is out of print. So because I wanted to at least check out one of the author's series, I saw this one's more of a sci-fi adventure, kind of with that fantasy, like, this seems more up my alley. So that's why I ended up picking up Eden Zero, as I believe I do have all the other volumes. Next from KODANSHA is a series. There are 4 volumes total, and I was only waiting for this one volume. I've waited over a year for this volume to come back in stock, as the publishing date kept getting pushed back over and over again, and that is Living Stone Volume 3. I've been wanting to read a couple more short stories, ones that aren't, 20, 30 volumes long. And because this was only 4 volumes, I heard good things from this manga. I said, why not check it out? I just did not expect it being over a year for Volume 3 to come out. So now I can go ahead and start out Living Stone. Next, if you're like, Scott, out of all the 70 volumes that you got for November, what did you read first, or what are you most excited about? And I am most excited about Witch Hat Atelier Volume 10. If you've not checked out this series, click the eye on the right hand corner, stop this video, and go ahead and watch my review of the series. It is a 10 out of 10. It is one of the best manga series that come out in a long time. Phenomenal world building, cast of characters, storytelling. This series is just amazing. It may be one of the best ongoing series right now currently. I'm just so impressed with it. Only time will tell, since there's only 10 volumes out right now. I wonder if it'll ever take the crown of some other beloved series that I love. So we'll have to see how as the story keeps going, but as of right now, it is peak with the 10 volumes that are out. I love this series. It's one you need to check out yourself. Next up from KODANSHA, I got another series that's in my top 10 of all time, and that is Blue Period Volume 10 and Volume 11. This series is all about the world of art, and I actually didn't know much about art until I started reading this series, and I fell in love with it. Not only does it teach you some techniques about art itself, but this story's all about following your dreams and your passions. Even when people say it's not worth it, you're not good enough, this keeps you wanting to keep pressing forward. It is just a beautiful series. Tons of good life lessons, leadership nuggets. Highly recommend checking out if you've not already. Blue Period. Let's go ahead and check out some volumes I got from smaller publishers, and the first one I got is Skip and Loafer Volume 6. Have I read the series yet? No. Why, you might guess? no, it's not because of time. This time, oh, pun not intended but intended, is I don't have volume 3. I'm surprised that volume 3 hasn't been reprinted yet. I have the rest of the volumes. So once I get volume 3, it is a series I do want to start reading. It's just a very good heartfelt rom-com. I'm excited to start. Next up, I got from smaller publisher 7 Seas is Tokyo Revengers 2-in-1 volumes 5 and 6. Tokyo Revengers has probably become one of my favorite new series that's come out this past year. Just phenomenal storytelling. When I picked up this volume, I read it straight through. I read the other 2 volumes straight through that have come out before this. I am so grateful that 7 Seas saved this series, bailed it out of jail, and instead of only being digital, we now have physical volumes. This is a great series, a lot of mystery. You're seeing the story of this guy who wants to save the girl of his life, and in the future she didn't make it, she died. And somehow this character is able to go 12 years in the past and relive his childhood in junior high, and now he's trying to make changes that'll alter the future to save the girl's life. It's so good, so gripping. The manga is just incredible so far. Highly recommend checking out. If you're looking for a new series that's come out this past year, check out Tokyo Revengers. Next up, we got from Square Enix Soul Eaters Volume 9. Now this series also is out in Yen Press, but this one has the nice hardcovers. I actually saw the other day, from Yen Press, you actually can get the entire series. If you're not wanting to wait for the Square Enix hardcovers to come fully in, you can easily get the entire series right now. That's not the hardcover editions from Yen Press if you're not wanting to wait. But funny series so far, enjoying the action, and man, these spines just look so good. I'm really impressed with Square Enix editions of Soul Eater. And last, from the small publishers from Ablaze, we end up getting The Breaker Volume 4. This has been one of my favorite manhwas that have come out this past year. This is probably the second story after Witch Hat Attila I read right away, and then the Tokyo Revengers, which I ended up getting a little later. But man, I love this story. Now there's going to be one more of these volumes here, these 2-in-1 volumes. It's a really good, gripping story that I just keep coming back to. I'm excited to see when it finishes. And then there's something called The Breaker New Wave, which I heard is even better than The Breaker. So I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping that Ablaze will announce that they're going to go ahead and print and publish that series as well. Now let's go ahead and check out New to Me series. And the first from Viz Media the only I got from Viz Media is Twin Star Exorcist. Now this is a series that's a little more lesser known, but man, I mean, these covers do look really pretty. I've heard just really good things about this series, and I've been itching for a new Shonen Jump series, and I've been wanting to check out the ones that are not as common, but I've seen really good reviews about this one. So because of that, I saw that almost the entire series was in stock. I think I'm just missing probably 2 or 3 volumes. So because of that, let's go ahead and get it. Takara Cafe, if you're a Patreon there, you can get this series for, it feels like a steal right now. So if you're on the fence, check out Takara. That's where I was able to get all these volumes, and it shipped out fairly fast. I think I got it within 3-4 weeks, which I don't think is too bad for the price you're paying for the series. So if you're looking for another newer series to check out, one that has all the volumes, this one might pique your interest. So I was able to get and collect Twin Star Exorcist. So we'll see if we get the last 3 volumes of this first, or is it Blue Exorcist we're going to check out first. Only time will tell. But I am very grateful I was able to get this whole series for a great price. I'll try to go a little faster for you. Here are the remaining volumes. Just to verify, we did get what we said we did. And the last one. Next up, let's check out what I got from Yen Press, which was one volume that's new to me, and that is Touring the Apocalypse. Now, this story is a slice of life adventure series in the future following these 2 girls, and I really did enjoy this first volume. It reminded me almost like a Studio Ghibli title. I had fun watching these girls as they're discovering and going around Tokyo in the future, and it appears they're the only humans around. But this series, as you're seeing just the changes in the world, some places are underwater now, there's some ruins, places that used to be, and as these girls just travel and they're looking on their journey, these different areas, it's just a beautiful series so far with this first volume. So I'm intrigued to keep following their journey of these two girls and find out what they discover as they tour the apocalypse. So next up, let's check out New to Me from KODANSHA, and the first series I picked up is Noise. Now, Noise is actually a prequel to just the phenomenal story of Blame. Now, Blame, if you haven't checked out, this is the Master Edition. It's these beautiful, you have these vibrant pictures and covers. And what I love is, as you see here, the author actually was an architect at one point. So I love this Master Edition, just how big the pages are. You can really just take in everything that came from the series. So I was a little sad to see Noise to be so small compared to its predecessor. As you can see, very small. Now, I do love that Noise is in hardcover. It's a very small volume. It's a quick read. But if you're looking for the prequel to find out what happened before Blame started out, this is the series you want to check out. So, Blame, very, very good. You can read this fairly fast. This is more one of the series you just want to slowly take in. Enjoy the different pages, just the detail and the artwork. It's almost like an art book of world building meets story driven. So great series to check out. I'm really happy that Noise was printed and now we have this in English of the prequel. I believe maybe long ago we had this and maybe it's just reprinted, but check out if you're ever interested. If you have Blame, you are definitely going to want to get this one. Now next I got New to Me from KODANSHA. I actually cannot recommend, and that is No Longer Human Complete. This series just was not for me, and I actually don't think it's for you either. This is really one of those series that just wears on your soul. I was sad after I finished this story. It put me actually in a bit of a funk, and I just didn't feel very good afterwards. I've read Goodnight Pun Pun, and that never put me in the state of sadness or depression or a funk that I did with this series. I actually don't think it's really needed. There's nothing in this series I really felt was redeemable other than don't live your life this way. So I actually have a short 3-minute video that I'll be uploading soon that'll give some more commentary on what I think about this series, but I don't recommend checking out. This is just going to make your soul grow weary. So I can't recommend this. If you're looking for something super sad and depressing, if you're looking to put yourself in a funk, I guess you'd orient this. But actually, I even feel wrong selling this or giving it away, as I don't want anyone to have to experience what I experienced after I finished reading this volume. Next up, let's check out what's new to me from smaller publishers. And the first thing I got was Shuna's Journey. Now, this is actually a very, very older series. I believe it came out in 1982. It's a short story, and it's from Studio Ghibli. Now, I believe this is the only illustrated story he's done, but it's a phenomenal one-shot story, and actually it's not really read like a manga. I mean, there's parts of it that seem kind of like a manga. It's fully in color, but it's just a beautiful tale. Definitely remind me a lot of Studio Ghibli's previous works. Has some sprinklings of from the wind. And what's nice is if you look at the back of this, it actually has a lot of good author's commentary on what was their thinking around this series, how the English translation came to be. So I actually was surprised to see this has never been brought to English before. And I'm actually a little sad after reading the series that Studio Ghibli hasn't come out with more illustrated stories on paper. So if you're looking for more of an illustrated story, one shot, this is very different. Sometimes in parts of it you're like, that's a little bizarre, but it was beautiful, and I thoroughly enjoyed my read of this. And I'm so grateful they came out with this nice hardcover edition. So looking for something a little different, highly recommend checking this out. Next up, I got actually a webtoon called Tower of God. Now this is a story about a boy who goes to this tower to go ahead and find his friend. And his friend all of a sudden just disappears in this tower, and he doesn't know how to find her. So the only way that he knows to get her is to climb the tower itself. And there's just so much mystery behind this series. And I did appreciate this is a hardcover. The next hardcover is not coming out till I think May next year, so you do have plenty of time before you start reading this. But I thoroughly enjoyed reading Tower of God. The mystery, I definitely want to know what's going on, why the tower is here, why does these characters exist, what happens if they get to the top of the tower. I'm entrenched in the mystery, and I'm excited to follow what happens on that journey. So if you like something that has more fantasy and mystery in it, highly recommend checking out Tower of God. And what's nice is all the pages are also in color. So if you like something that also is in color, I think this is a bit easier one. If you have kids that are closer almost to a teenager range and maybe they're not into manga, this might be a good in-between that they would want to check out as well. Let's go and check out what I got that is out of print. And I actually got 2 volumes of the series I'm currently hunting for that's out of print. And that is Yamushi Pedal Volume 5, 2-in-1, and Volume 6. So that means for this series, there's just one more out of print volume, which I'm dreading because the cheapest I found this volume so far is $130, and that is Volume 3. So this is a series, I ordered the rest of the series from Takara Cafe. I should get the rest of these volumes shortly, but I don't know how long it's gonna take to get Volume 3. I'm now looking off of my checklist, what series do I want to start for hunting next that's currently out of print. Now this one, who knows how long Volume 3, I'm hoping I can find it for hopefully 50 or less at least, but even then I feel a little ill. I don't like paying more than MSRP, which for this would be $24.99, but I mean, maybe double, but $130, I can't do it. So I'm so excited to have these 2 volumes now in my hands. I got these from that Power of the Amazon wish list. If you've not checked out that video, I highly recommend checking out the video where you can see how to get out of print manga cheap. So if you're looking how to do that, that's how I was able to get these volumes, is I add them to Amazon wishlist, and slowly I found people selling them used for a fair price. And last, it's not a manga haul without a box set. And so yes, I did get another box set, and actually this is the last box set we'll probably see for a very long time, as I can't really think of any more box sets I want to be hunting down or looking for, and that is Princess Jellyfish. Now this box set, the Power of the Amazon wishlist, I was able to get this for less than $100. I was so happy to be able to get a good deal for this. Now this is a Josei series. It's one of the more popular Josei series. So if you're looking to branch out a little bit from Shonen or Seinen, and if you're like, what else is out there? This is a Josei series that has just phenomenal reviews I recommend. So because I was able to get the box set less than $100, and it's a series I've been wanting to read, why not? So that is all when it comes to box set. Is it sealed? It is. Should we do a video unboxing this? You know, I didn't think about it until right now, and yes, I think we will. So that's all I have today. In the comments below, would you mind sharing with me what did you pick up or read for the month of November? And if you'd like to see more videos like this, and you've not done so already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That helps others know about this community that we are building together. Thank you so much for watching, and happy holidays.